Stop right now. Stop.
Criminals try to outsmart police sometimes, but for how long? Let's find out. In La Crosse, Wisconsin, a 27-year-old man named Larry A. Baldwin Jr. has found himself in a bit of a pickle. It seems he's been playing a game of cat and mouse with the local police. Larry allegedly gave them the slip not once, not twice, but 3 times in just over a week. But it seems his luck has run out as he's now behind bars in La Crosse County Jail with a hefty $10,000 cash bond keeping him company. The trouble began on October 15th, 2022, when officers spotted Larry driving around town despite having a suspended license. When they tried to pull him over, he decided it was time to put the pedal to the metal and zoom away at high speed. Quite the daring move, one must say. But Larry wasn't done yet. Just a few days later, the police caught up with him again, but did he surrender? Not a chance. Ignoring their commands, he bolted once more, slipping through their fingers like a slippery eel. And if you thought he'd learned his lesson by now, think again. A couple of days after his second escape, while the police were busy dealing with another issue, Larry popped up once more. And you guessed it, he led them on yet another wild chase, leaving them scratching their heads in disbelief as he vanished into thin air once again. Larry, on his third attempt to flee, managed to run away yet again. He kept running and dodging the police and got into his car and drove away, while a woman caused a lot of distraction and confusion because she didn't understand why the police were after him, so she kept asking the police. Later, his car was found crashed and he went somewhere running on foot. The locals confirmed what he looked like. He wasn't caught on that day as well, as a matter of fact, not even for a month after that, but finally the police from another county caught him. Now, Larry's facing a slew of charges, including multiple felony counts of fleeing from the cops, recklessly endangering safety, and bail jumping, along with a sprinkle of misdemeanors for good measure. It seems this game of hide and seek has landed him in some serious hot water. But hey, you have to give him credit for his persistence, even if it did land him behind bars in the end. In the next video, we are going to see police in Southfield share body and dash camera footage on Thursday of a chase that happened on February 19th. It all began when a man stole a car and then sped off in a police car that was chasing him. The body cam footage shows multiple officers wrestling with the suspect, 27-year-old Charleston Williams of Detroit, and using a stun gun before they could finally handcuff him. The chase ended at Winchester Street and Larkmore, starting nearly 3 miles away at the Franklin River Apartments. Law enforcement agencies across southeast Michigan are all experiencing the same issue. Individuals stealing cars, auto parts, said Southfield Police Chief Elvin Barron. He explained that they've been keeping an eye on hotels and apartment buildings where car thefts are common because they're easy targets. At the Franklin River Apartments, police spotted a car theft in progress and tried to stop it. Nearly 2 miles away, they caught up to the car and used a pity maneuver to disable it. However, because of tinted windows, the officer couldn't see how many people were inside. When one person got out from the passenger side, the officer went after them, not realizing Williams was still in the car. Williams then got out from the driver's side and sat in the empty police car. He and the officer struggled for control of the car, with the officer eventually smashing the front window to grab Williams. Dashcam footage from the patrol car shows Williams driving recklessly in a neighborhood, but another officer coming towards him managed to stop him with another PIT maneuver. Barron mentioned they had received training on PIT maneuvers from the Oakland County Sheriff's Department, and thankfully a senior officer was able to stop Williams by spinning out their vehicle. Although the chase was over, the struggle wasn't. Williams had access to a police rifle, but besides minor injuries from the airbag, Barron confirmed he wasn't seriously hurt. Williams, with an extensive criminal history, is now in jail facing 9 felonies and 1 misdemeanor with a $1 million bond. You see the criminal history this guy has, which is the reason he's so aggressive. He doesn't want to go to jail, Barron remarked. It's not easy because time and time again these individuals are going to resist arrest. Fight with us. Where does it end? Williams and 3 officers were taken to a local hospital for injuries but were treated and released. Now moving on to the other situation in the quiet neighborhood of Park Meadows, a bit of a stir unfolded on September 29, 2019 involving a resident named Michael Franchek. It all started with reports of a heated argument echoing through the streets of Racket Club Drive and Spalding Court. When the Park City Police arrived to investigate, they sought to speak with Franchek about the incident. However, he opted to stay indoors, declining to answer any questions from the officers. Things took a more serious turn when the police decided to enter Franchek's home to effect an arrest. Consequently, Franchek found himself facing charges of interfering with law enforcement, failing to reveal his identity, and disorderly conduct. The whole episode didn't stay confined to the neighborhood, though. Franchek's teenage son managed to capture the unfolding drama on video, which quickly spread like wildfire across YouTube and other social media platforms. He kept interacting with the police and urged his son to record everything, which he did even though the police repeatedly asked him to give them space. Michael insisted he did not resist anything and persisted in requesting his Fourth Amendment rights from the police. In the aftermath, Franchek took legal action against the city of Park City, alleging that both he and his son had their civil rights infringed upon during the confrontation. His demands include a formal apology from the city, both written and spoken, as well as compensation totaling over $900,000. Adding another layer to the saga, Franchek had also thrown his hat into the ring as a candidate for the city council in the upcoming municipal election. Furthermore, he expressed aspirations to vie for a seat on the Summit County Council, indicating that his ambitions extended beyond the confines of his neighborhood dispute. Here's another case that was caught all on camera where Rayshawn Swaggerty Owens, who's 31, had a run-in with Longview police officer David Mora on September 19th. Rayshawn was holding a memorial for his friend who had passed away recently when Officer Mora approached him during his usual patrols around the Highlands. Rayshawn believes he was questioned because of his race, although no one was arrested during their talk. The whole thing got recorded and Rayshawn put it online. Thousands of people watched the video, and many said Officer Mora was rude. The Longview Police Department started checking into Officer Mora's behavior after folks online complained about another video showing him with someone else from Longview. Despite the attention, Officer Mora, who started working in 2020, is still on duty while they check if his behavior follows the department's rules. Meanwhile, Rayshawn and others gathered near a bench off Industrial Way to remember Rayshawn's friend Celeste Williams, who had died in a car crash that same day near Longview. They lit candles and stayed there to keep an eye on them. About 20 people came and went, comforting each other until Rayshawn was left alone. Rayshawn felt like he was being treated differently because of his race. In the videos, Officer Mora comes up to Rayshawn while he's sitting on the bench and asks what he's doing. Officer Mora says the candles might be dangerous, so Rayshawn puts them out. Rayshawn asks why Officer Mora is shining a bright light on him, but Officer Mora doesn't turn it off. Rayshawn says he's just sitting on a bench, wonders why he's being questioned, and tells Officer Mora to have condolences for somebody. The conversion between Mora and Rayshawn went from Mora asking him what he was doing, asking for ID, and repeatedly saying that we could be a criminal and that's what the police are for, to patrol at night, etc., to Rayshawn telling Mora how rude he was being to him. Officer Mora uses a bad word to describe Rayshawn, and Rayshawn does the same. Then a second officer came to interfere in the argument, and this time she didn't ask for ID or anything but tried to offer her condolences as well, which Officer Mora didn't, but kept flashing the lights onto Rayshawn's face, which he repeatedly complained about. The internet was furious, seeing how insensitive it is for a man mourning the death of his friend to be treated that way. Duty is duty, but the way two useless questions seemed a little far from humanity, especially during such a difficult time. The police say there's a meeting 3 times a day where officers talk about important stuff before they start work, but Officer Mora probably didn't know about it since he was on a different kind of patrol. Chief Robert Huta said the officers didn't know all the details of what happened, just that there was a bad crash on Industrial Way. Swaggerty Owens put his roughly 9-minute video of the encounter on YouTube on October 8th. By Saturday, about 8,300 people had watched it, and many weren't happy with how Officer Mora acted. Some folks said Swaggerty Owens should file a formal complaint, while others felt the police should treat people better. The Longview Police Department put up Officer Mora's body cam video on Facebook on October 14th because of how people reacted to Swaggerty Owens' video. Their video, which lasted about 8 minutes and 30 seconds, got shared almost 300 times and had about 3,000 comments by Saturday. Some comments said the officer had ego issues, and others thought Officer Mora should have tried to calm things down more. When they shared the video, the department also said they knew a video was making folks upset. They reminded everyone that all Longview police officers should do their job with honor and honesty. "I'm concerned the public could come away with a negative view of the police," McNew told the Daily News. Thanks for watching this video.